That shit? MMA podcast. Hosted by mixed martial arts journalist Mike Strauss, aka Strauss21, and Chicago's #1 underground comedian, Apollo Taj Mahal.
Thank you for listening. I am Mike Strauss, aka Strauss21, with Chicago's #1 underground comedian, Apollo Taj Mahal. We appreciate it, guys. If you like the interview, and I know you will, be sure to go ahead and listen to the full episode. You can find it on our website, didyousseethatshit.com, YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, pretty much wherever you find your favorite podcast. Be sure to listen to the whole episode. We appreciate it very much, guys. I want to welcome Biggie Rhodes to the show. He is a professional fighter, and he has a big fight coming up against Bryan Baker at Beatdown 21. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just getting ready to go train and, keep the schedule going. Like you said, got a big fight, so just trying to stay on the train for that.
Yeah, Bryan Baker, he's a real tough guy, but we haven't seen him in 5 years now. He was a finalist in the Bellator tournament way back. What are you expecting from this dude?
You know what? I'm expecting someone who's improved. I think that whenever you take time off away from the sport, you're actually able to get, better. And I think people might hear that and think that sounds a little bit weird, but your body needs a break, your mind needs a break, and when you come back to it, I feel like you can get better. It kind of helps to get away from things, and you see things differently when you come back. And like I said, I don't know what he's been doing, so that's kind of keeping it fresh for him as well. As far as fighting and training, no one has a blueprint on whether or not he's going to be the same or if he's going to be a new improved fighter. So, he has an element of surprise on his side as well. So I'm expecting the best Bryan Baker. I'm expecting an improved Bryan Baker from, the Bellator tournament guy. But even if it's not the case, he was tough. He was tough then, 18-5 tournament finalist a couple times. So even if he didn't improve very much, if he stayed anywhere near the same, he's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah, he was definitely one of the best guys back then in Bellator that they had, man. Speaking of surprise, were you surprised when Bellator got rid of the 13 guys? Of course, you were one of them. I don't think they got that right, man. There's you, Steve Cazzola, Steve Garcia. There's a handful of guys there that the MMA world by surprise, man. Were you just as surprised as we were?
No, and so I explained the situation a little bit, but I don't want to go into grave detail about everything that happened with it, but I think my name got thrown in there. It was unjustly because I wasn't cut or anything from Bellator. My deal with them was a one-fight deal.
Okay.
So my deal with Bellator was a one-fight deal. And it was a one-fight deal that had contingencies in it that if I won, then I would be offered a certain amount of fights, or that, if I won, that they would still, kind of have control of me as far as me fighting for them again. But, obviously since I lost, they didn't, use that side of the contract and decide to, keep me under contract, if that's what you want to say. So with me losing, it kind of, they just decided that they didn't want to, give me more fights was the thing. So I know some of those other people have been with Bellator for a while and things like that. So they might be a little bit more disappointed than I am. Would I have liked to get another opportunity for Bellator? Sure, why not? Good money, fighting tough guys. I just get to try and prove myself again. But this is not a setback for me in any way, shape, or form. This for me is kind of is good. I can get a little bit more active on the local scene. I can fight more guys, and I think everybody knows UFC is number one. Bellator is close number two for some people and athletes, but I feel like in order to be a great Bellator fighter, you got to be in one of the areas that they frequently go to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell those are the guys that they build up more than anybody else. I mean, if you're from somewhere that they don't go to put on shows, it's kind of hard for them to grow you. And I think that's the reason why they keep so many of the old names that they've had for a long time, is because these guys have created fan bases in the places that they go if they're not from there. So I think Bellator is having a little problem with, building stars and building fighters because of the lack of places that they go, so that kind of keeps their roster a lot smaller. So I'm not sad or mad or, feel any certain way about it. It wasn't personal for me. Obviously, it's a business decision, and, my business just keeps on rolling.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, there's no reason to feel bad. You're only 28 years old. You train at one of the best camps in the world, and I think your best days are ahead of you, man. I think you are probably one of the handful of guys on the regional scene that could really draw. I mean, you and Bryan Baker, that is a legit fight.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, if you look at it, for what it is, man, it's gonna be a good fight. Like you said, we both have names, plus some of the other names on this card is kind of crazy to think, that they were able to put this together like they did. I don't know if there's like a streaming thing for it or not, but I would hope so, with the names and the people that they have on this card. I know a lot of people want to see it, and, I want to be able to showcase my performance, against a tough guy like Bryan Baker. So I haven't heard if they're going to stream it in any way, but I'm really, really hoping that they do.
Yeah, they definitely should, because as you said, man, there's a lot of names on that card. For a regional event, it really is. They put on a very, very respectable card there at Beatdown 21. So before I let you go, man, I've been seeing that you've been posting a lot of pictures with Paul Felder. Have you been getting a lot of work in with Paul?
Yeah, actually, I was just talking to Paul right now. He had to go run out and do some stuff for the UFC today. So I was just talking to him a little bit, and yeah, man, we train a lot. I really, really enjoy Paul Felder. The guy's just a genuine dude, and ever since he came up here and teamed up with Roufusport, I feel like we've been really close, really good friends. And so, we just kind of have the same mindset, man. And, when you find someone who's like you, you're kind of just drawn to that person. And he's my kind of guy, man. He trains hard. He don't complain. He likes to fight. And, and like you said, you see him fight and you can tell he likes to fight by the way he goes in there and puts it all on the line. And honestly, he's just been like a huge, just watching him fight and knowing him and seeing how he thinks has helped me out a lot, because it helped me turn this corner. And I think people already think I'm an exciting fighter from the way that I fight already. But
definitely,
come March 10th, I think they're going to see a whole nother level of excitement and fight for me. One of the things you hear Paul Felder commended about the most is just, the willingness to go in there and just actually go to war, and, the fans love it. That's why the UFC loves him. And that's the reason why he got the opportunities that he's got. Obviously he wins the fights, but in the manner that he wins and fights is important too. And I'm starting to understand that. And so I just can't wait to showcase, what I've learned from him, as well as what, I've shared with him. So it's a very mutual relationship. And like I said, he's a little bit older than me, not much, but he's got some experience and some things that he can, just help out and share with some of us younger guys and guys that are newer in the sport. And, I just happen to have a little bit more of an extensive background. Like, I've made it to some places, but I didn't accomplish my goals. And just seeing how, Paul was, had some ups and downs in the UFC, and now he's, he's streaking. He's going on a run right now. Training with him just kind of boosts my morale, and just kind of, it just reminds me every day with my roommate, Gerald Mershard, that, where I want to get back to and where I want to be and what I'm really capable of.
Absolutely, man. I say it all the time. Steel sharpens steel, right?
Exactly, man. And we got a team full of guys that can, definitely do that for one another, pull one another up and continue to help us get better. That's the thing about our team. We're not a big team, but we're actually a real team. We love and care about one another. And I think that shows in how we all get better. And, we had a great year last year as a team. We went 19-5, and, it's just like this year. We just want to get better and finish fights and just be exciting and, have people interested in when Roufusport fight. We already got that name, but we just got to continue to go out there and get the big wins and keep our spot at the top.
Absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate your time, Mike. I know that you're busy training and everything that you have going on there. The floor is yours, man. If you'd like to, if you have any sponsors or if you want to plug your social media, whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah, I just want to say, thank you for all the supporters that have been following my career, through the ups and the downs, supporting me. If you're new a fan out there, I welcome you to the bandwagon with open arms. It's about to take off and it's going in the right direction. You can catch my social media at Team Rock Biggie TeamRocBiggie. That's Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Mike Biggie Rhodes fan page over on Facebook. BiggieMMA.com is my website. I always rep all my sponsors over there on all my social media. I don't want to say a couple and not remember them all right now. So I'll just say, shout out to my gym, Roufusport, all my coaches, Scott Cushman, Duke Rufus, Daniel Vanderlei, all my teammates over there at Roufusport. We got a couple guys fighting this weekend. We got Cam Olsen fighting up in Canada for a belt. Good skill to him. We got a couple guys, Nate Jennerman, Jordan Griffin, and a couple amateurs fighting up on that LFA card in Minnesota. So just wishing them good skill. And, I just want to say thank you to all my loved ones and family and fans and supporters out there. Continue to support me. I appreciate it, and look for me on the big show soon.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate your time, Mike. If you could, man, we kind of have a little tradition here. If you could say, this is Mike Biggie Rhodes, and you're listening to the Did You See That Shit podcast.
Hey, guys, this is Mike Biggie Rhodes, and you're listening to Did You See That Shit podcast.
I appreciate it so much, brother. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.